Hello everyone, so welcome back. Last video we saw the point to site. In this one we're gonna go site to site VPN connection. So we're gonna try to configure something which looks like this. So we already had this setup done. So let me show you. We already had this setup done from the last video. We're just gonna add, so we're gonna ignore this one. We're just gonna add another on-prem, another network with on-prem name, and we're going to change some of the IP addresses, and then we're going to configure our local gateway network. Okay, let's start now. So we're going to start by creating another resource group. So we're going to ignore this South UK for now. So let's start. I'm pretty sure I need to let me close on this ping because it's constantly going. Okay, now let's create a resource group. I think we should create somewhere in, let's go for North Europe. So resource group, North EU. Perfect, that's created. And now let's launch a virtual machine in it. Okay, for this specific lab, we need to use Windows Server 2012 R2. Because there are some components which we need which are only available in Windows Server R2. Resource group gonna be North EU, and we're gonna call it Windows 2012. Let me see, is it available? Yeah, generation 2. Okay, Windows 2012 R2, and then resource group name or region name, sorry, not EU. Okay, so that's done, and let's create our username and password. So we just gonna move this one. Okay, so that's done. Let's allow RDP. I'm just gonna keep these ones on just in case. Yep, click on this, click on this. That's done. Rest the settings, you're gonna keep it safe. Okay, network, we're gonna use 10.2. We're gonna keep the public IP address as well. Management, disable. Okay, we're gonna wait for this one to get created. Okay, it's still in progress. Okay, perfect. So our machine is being created. Let's copy that one and let's do RDP into it. RDP. Okay, we will be doing a lot of configuration within the machine, as we will be using this machine as a site. So okay, there's Windows Server 22. We will let it create. Okay, now the next step we need to do, we need to create a local gateway. Local network gateway. That's what we need to create. LNG. So let's create. Okay, we're gonna give it a name. Let's call this one local gateway and new. We're gonna keep IP address. Okay, this IP address, the public IP address of your local gateway. So if you look at the picture, so this is like our local gateway. So the IP address, public IP address of our on-prem should go in there. Let me duplicate this one because we're gonna be needing few configuration. And if I go to our virtual machine, which is in North EU, this is the IP address we are after. As you can see, it says, sorry, here, the public IP address, your local gateway, and paste it there. And then the address space, we gonna give same address space of our let's go to our network and let's see which one is North EU, and this gonna be our address space, which is after. Copy that one and we can paste it in here. So these details are from your on-prem. You're not gonna configure any BGP. Trial is free. Okay, resource group. This resource group should be our on-prem resource group, which is North EU. And then location should be our Azure resource group, which will be this. So most of the things you configure it here, but the last piece, which is location, where it's going to. So it's like split up between this and this. So location will be East US, and let's create. So this is our on-prem and this is our Azure. So the location should be our Azure location. Okay, we will give it some time to come up. Now let's go to our R2 machine. Okay, in this machine, we need to do a bit of configuration. So first, we need to install some features. So let's do our add and feature. I will go through them like next. And if you follow me along, it should be easy to remember. So next, next. In here, we are after remote access. Just tick remote access. Next, in this one, I think we don't need anything. Let me go through them. Yeah, we don't need anything. Just next, next. In here, we just can click both the feature routing and VPN. And next, 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 and install. We'll wait for this one to install. And oops, it's just coming in between. Just want to check this. Yeah, that's going on. Let's do refresh and see. Perfect. So our local gateway or local virtual gateway is configured. Okay, now while our VM tools or RT tool is getting installed, let's try to configure our so what we need to do now, we need to configure our gateway. So let's go to our gateway, virtual network gateway, and then go in there and then use option. This is the one which we used last time, point to site or site to point. Did we call it point to site? Yep, that's correct. And let's click on connection and add. In here, we need to add our stuff. So I will call it on-prem. Actually, let's go for Azure to on-prem. And then it's gonna be site to site. Don't miss this piece bit. And then our local area network is there. Share key, we're gonna use 1, 2, 3, 4. We will come across these settings when we're gonna do some configuration in our machine, RDP machine. And then this setting, we're gonna leave it as it is. And that's pretty much it. And resource group, just leave it as blank. And I just want to make sure, yep, that's fine. And click OK. This will take time as well, but once it's going through this, let's go to our RDP machine, and that's done. And let's hit close. So that's pretty much it, done. And now the second part which we need to configure, if we go to tools, just checking few things here. Yeah, if you go to tools, under the tools, you need to look for remote routing and remote access. This is the one which we enabled it earlier. Click on that, and then we need to configure this, and let's right click, add a server. Okay, let me double check. Yeah, you need to click here, configure and enable routing and routing and remote access. Click on this, next. So we're gonna use the option secure connection between two private network. That's what we are after. Click next. Do you want to the connection? Yes, next. Automatically RDP, and let's hit finish. Okay, it's moaning about some issues. I think it's done it before as well when I was configuring it. So let's go ahead and see. Okay, click next. Remote remote router, and click next. VPN connection, that's what we are after. Click next. In here, I have to use this option. Just gonna check the notes as well. Good, that's done. Let's click next. Okay, VPN give public IP address. So here we need to give the public IP address of our that's connected. That's perfect. The public IP address of our VPN, and let's click on overview. You can collect this IP address from here. Let's go back to our settings in the RDP. Copy this public IP address, take this name off, and let's click next. This one we're gonna keep as it is. Click OK, click next, just don't fill these details up, and that's done. Okay, we done this configuration so far. Now let's go and do some more configuration in there. Okay, we got static rule, but we are looking over the IPv4. Let's click new static route. In here, we choose our remote router. That's the one which we created. And then in the destination address, we just put okay, just gonna check. Okay, this destination address, just one. Yes. Okay, in our destination, we need to give the destination IP destination network address, which is our, let me go back, which is our network, virtual network, which is our US one. So let's go to our VNet East US and click on address spaces. Just copy 10.0.0. Let's go back. 10.0.0.0, and this is gonna be 255.255.0 and 0. Matrix we can leave as it is, and let's click OK. Okay, so our IP4 static route is configured, and now let's click on the properties. That's done. Perfect. Just want to double check. Okay, that's our route table, which is fine. Let's create our route table. I'll call it site to site. Next. Okay, we already created this, so we're just going through it over again. Now this is done, and now we need to connect this one. I'm just gonna check. Our remote route. Go into the properties. Still disable. You just need to enable this one. Okay. Oops, it's just disappeared. Okay, on this remote network interface, remote link, if you click here, you can see we got properties. Let's click on properties. In options, we don't have to do anything. In the security, we need to click this is done, and the networking, that's all good. Security. Okay, we need to put that 4-digit number which we have used to create our local area, local gateway. And then we need to keep our connection persistent. That's what I'm just looking at the options. Persistent connection, general, and I think that's pretty much it. We are done. Let's click OK. Now let's try to connect. Hit connect, and let's wait. Okay, that's connected. So now if I go back to our gateway, VPN virtual network gateway, click on here. So site to site configuration. Yes, all good under the connection. This is our connection. We should see this one connected. So let's give it a few more minutes. Yeah, should not be refreshing a lot. I will pause a video now because it might gonna take some more time and we'll come back. Okay, it took few minutes, but it's connected. As you can see now, ideally what we can do, if I ping from this machine, let's see if we can able to reach to this Linux, but the IP address is gonna be this one because we haven't like changed it from the previous site to point. So if I go into our Windows 10 machine, no, Windows machine 2012 RDP, and if I try to ping 10.0.0.4-T, let's see. Perfect. So we created a site to site connection now. As you can see, we can able to ping. Now, if I go into the network interface here, and let's try to disconnect it. You can see there is a pause, but it will come back. The reason why it come back because we said we're gonna keep the connection persistent, so it will connect it back through a different route. So it's all connected. So this is all done. Now, if I'm gonna show you another thing in there, if you want to ping from uh, that machine back, when I say that machine, the virtual network, the Linux one, we need to create a root as well. So let's create a root table. So if you go to the root table, if we hit create, under the new create, and then that table should be in Azure site. So actually what we are doing here, we are creating a root. Oops, my diagram is gone. Just want to make sure, yeah, recording there. So at the moment we are able to ping this way, but now we need to come back to other way around. So that for that we need to create a root table, and that should be in East US, and we're gonna call it root table East US. Propagate gateway, that is fine, and let's click OK, and let's create. Should not take too long to get that created. Just gonna wait for it to get created. You can see some of these deployments, like it's not actual time, but it can take too long. Some of these deployments, especially the gateway, can take too long. Okay, while we are here now, what we need to do, go to the roots, add a root. We're gonna call it Azure to on-prem. Okay, this address prefix, this is important. So we need to add the address of destination. Since we have added this route, now we need to add this route. So now let's grab the subnet address for our destination, which is North EU. Yes, we use North EU address space, and let's copy this one. And then in the next hop, we're gonna use virtual network gateway and click OK. Okay, that route has been created. This is off the topic, but I just want to show you if it works. We will give a go. Don't want to make this video too long, to be honest. Now, if I use putty, let's come on this side. If I go to my virtual machine and Linux, and let's see if I can able to connect to this machine. Okay, now what's the IP address for that? Let's have a quick look. There was a machine, right? Yes, there was a machine. It was not, and this is the IP address. Let's see if we can able to ping 10.2.0.4. Perfect. As you can see, we are getting a ping. So what we have done, we managed to ping from this side to this side, which is on-prem to Azure, and from Azure to on-prem. What we have used VPN gateway and local area gateway. Okay, I will appreciate for watching this video, and I will see you in another video. Thanks for now. Bye.